Tax time is fast approaching, and in the event of a divorce, which parent gets to claim the dependent or the dependency exemption? Help me out here, Sonya. Live at 5's family attorney Sonya Coffman joins us now with more, plus answers to your questions. I kind of went blank there. So, Sonya, help us out. Who gets to claim the dependent?
If the parents don't have an agreement in writing otherwise, then IRS rules will apply.
Okay.
And the IRS rule is generally that the parent who had the child more than 50% of the time takes the exemption. And that comes as a surprise sometimes to the parent paying child support because they think they should get the exemption.
Right.
There is a publication online. It's IRS Publication 501, and it's very specifically written with lots of examples. So someone could look at that if they had a unique situation and wanted to figure that out.
Now, what if you share custody and it's 50-50 plus one parent still pays child support?
Yes, in that case you'd have to reach an agreement, and that's often something people bargain for as part of the divorce. We'll put that in the divorce decree, and we'll get the IRS form signed so that the parent who gets the exemption shouldn't have problems down the road. Something to know to bargain for, because oftentimes it's worth more to one parent than to the other.
It's not something that a lot of parents think about going into a divorce, but it's something you definitely need to think about.
You should.
Of course, when you've got kids. Anything else that you should think about when you've got kids? Because I know oftentimes the first thing you think of is, okay, who is going to pay who child support?
Right, and that doesn't answer the question, obviously, of who gets that exemption. So it's something to negotiate, maybe give up something else to get that if that's more valuable to you than the other parent.
Okay, on to some of our Facebook questions. I've heard that when you have visitation set up through the Attorney General on your children and the custodial parent won't let you get your kids on your designated weekends, that even if you call the police and show them your visitation paperwork, the custodial parent still doesn't have to let you get your kids. You would have to take them to court. Is this true?
Generally so. A law enforcement officer may talk to the other parent and tell them that they could be in trouble with the court, they may be in contempt of the order, but in my experience, law enforcement is not going to physically remove a child unless there's a writ of attachment from a court telling them to do that.
Okay, so they don't want to get involved.
Generally, they're there for peacekeeping. Yes.
Okay. I would like to know the same thing. I consulted with my attorney from Port Arthur, and he couldn't give me a professional answer. Is it true that they have enforcement for the court for the matter of visitation rights?
Yes, you would file a motion for enforcement of visitation, and if there's any good news in that scenario, it is that the family code provides that if a parent is found in contempt of the court order, the family code says the court shall award attorney's fees to the other parent. So it's definitely something you want to think about before you withhold your children wrongfully in response to the court order.
Okay, our computer froze here, so I'm trying to get to another question on my phone here. This may be a silly question, but can you legally disown a family member?
I don't quite know what they mean by that. Terminate parental rights? I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Okay, and we've got lots of other questions. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but if you would like to have your question answered, of course, you can mail us at the address listed on your screen, email us laf@kftm.com, or post those questions on our KFDM News Facebook page. Sonya, thanks. We appreciate your time.